Yo, welcome to the Beta Boys podcast.
Hello, hello.
Today we're going to talk about the dark arts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Nick, how you doing today, dog? Are we starting like this? This feels fun.
Fantastic. No.
Beautiful.
We're good. We're in.
I just did some early voting, and I get treated like shit when I go vote, and it's kind of fun.
I mean,
look at this shirt. I wore this to vote. Isn't this a nice shirt, dog?
We live in Florida, and you went to early voting.
Yeah.
And we know how 60% of the voters there are. And then
Sorry,
on top
dog.
of that, you played a certain song that,
Yo, so we were leaving. Listen, bro, listen. I'm not here to change. I don't give a fuck about anyone's political, views, directions. I don't care, dog. I don't care. Fuck you. But I all right. So we have all the people when we're driving with, their trucks, and they're like, DeSantis for the soul! And I'm like, ooh, all right, I'm gonna fuck with these people. So they look at me, and I think they know I'm not voting red, dog. It's all right. So I'm leaving. I see, the people that are, it's, to the side, dog. It looks like the Jedis, the Sith and shit.
Oh, my God.
It's, vote blue, vote red. And I was like, purple. But I was driving, and I stare at the people in the blue, and I was like... And then the people on the red didn't see me, so I go... I have a little Honda Fit. Small. My car's, this big. And I go... I kind of, stop, not completely... And I stare them and they smile. They're like, vote red. I see their fucking saliva coming out, entering their pores. I see it. They're like, we had our doubts about him. He's stopping. He did it. We got him. And then my car is all silent and all you hear is, fuck Donald Trump. And I slowly smile and I go like this as my car just pulls away. And they all went they were like, they look like they watched their small dog die, and I'm just stomping on that bitch. I'm like, fuck y'all dreams, ha ha ha.
Yo,
so,
unbelievable,
bro. It was funny. That shit was so fucking funny. I know, honestly, my vote probably didn't matter because there was two people behind me, and I was talking to these people, and these people were nice. And this also goes to show you, your directions and who you vote for shouldn't matter that much because at the end of the it should, yeah. But at the end of the day, we're all just people.
Everyone should get along.
Yeah, everyone should get along. So I was talking to these people. They were nice as fuck or whatever. We were talking, and I was like, okay. And then this lady's like, I'm kind of undecided. And there was this woman handing out how to vote Republican pamphlets. So she gets it, and it literally says how the liberals are ruining the country. And I'm like, goddamn right they are. And then she looks at it, and then she was like, I'm just going to do word for word what this pamphlet is. And I was like, you're a fucking egg. I was like, are you dumb?
Number one, I thought that, I don't know how you're allowed to do that.
Hand out the pamphlets?
At the voting booth? Yeah, no, 100%. How are you allowed to do that?
Confidence. That's all it is. It's just confidence. You have to go in when you're like, I'm fucking it up. I don't care. Bro. You know how much?
That's definitely illegal. There's no way you're allowed to do that.
Bro, we're not. All right, listen.
That's crazy.
The way I'm selling, my, clothes right now, I can't do that. And I just, come to my car. Every 5 minutes I go to people, I'm like, yo, come to my car real quick. Come to my car. Just...
Yeah. No, but the thing is, that's enterprise, right?
Yeah.
But
so Donnie T
that's crazy.
Donnie T's announcing his he's running.
So he's hinting at it.
Yeah.
He's hinting at it. Yeah.
All right. But what do you think? What do you think of the Burns, dog? You think baby's coming back?
Yo, I hope, dude.
Bernie Sanders, you probably not watching this, dog. This is to our 30 subscribers. How many subscribers have we got?
We had 37.
37. For those, please, guys, listen. Bernie Sanders, if you ever see this, just one more time, dog. Just one more time. You'll have my vote no matter what. I love you so much. I just want to, I know you're a little shorter than me. I just want to kiss your little fucking head. He's so cute, dog.
I'll tell you what.
I love him.
I don't know how people watch, Biden not able to speak at all. And then they listen to, Trump, and Trump's, all over the place.
I just think this is how my shit. I talked to people about this shit before. I think that how there's you have to be 35 to run for
president.
Prezzo? Yeah. So 35. So there's an age where you could do it. And I'm not gonna lie. I could probably run right now. No, I'm kidding. I can't do that shit. I'm way too young. I get it why there's an age. It makes sense. You grow in life, but there should also be an age, a cutoff. And if you get cut off, let's say we make the cutoff 70. Because a 70-year-old motherfucker has no idea what people our age are dealing with. You get what I'm saying? I'm speaking the truth, Nick. Fucking wave your hand so it like looks better. So like wave your hands, dog.
Why would
So
I wave my hand?
the fucking it adds effect.
I don't agree.
So you don't agree with what I'm saying?
No, I think
Fuck
they
you.
should have a mental competency.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to, you fuck.
Not an
so
age test.
No, it should be at 70. Just like how you do your driver's license test. You at a certain like age, you have to get tested. So if you're 70 and you have the cognitive function of like a 50-year-old or a 45-year-old, some shit like that, even if you don't show any cognitive decline, like Burns is killing it, and like Trump seems to be there, like when he speaks and shit, he might be ejected with fucking like oils and shit, whatever, dog. But like he has it going and everything. Like Biden, and I'm not gonna lie, like both sides sucked when it was time to vote, but I feel like I voted for like the boy. Like
I think like after 65, do like just a not like a political test, just a test that says, do you have dementia?
Yeah,
you know
just
what I
a
mean?
test
Like,
that for like cognitive functions, and if you
like-
pass it, you good to go. But every election, so if you rerun, you'd have to take that test again.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
the fucking
100%.
primaries, you can have people like running against you, so they kind of know where you stand. Because at a party, I feel like people are too selfish with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, especially like, you know, like for instance, Bernie, right? He's fucking 800 years old.
And he's crushing it.
And he's like, that man is arguably more there
No
than like,
Walker.
most people that are
He's
way
still
less than
slinging
him.
dick. He's fucking walking around. Birds are landing on his head, chipping out his fucking scalp, and he's like, "I love the people." Like he's fucking like he's
Yeah.
going. And like, you know, there might be some shit that you guys don't agree with, but it's just fucking.
It's literally just about mental coherency.
So when
know? Like, I
when
mean,
people
it's just
say when
crazy.
people are like, "Yeah, nah, he's a socialist," like explain that shit, because I don't like. Is he like? Because
Is
you
Bernie a
know
socialist?
you know way more about politics than I do. I'm not big on politics. I'm big on fuck shit. So when
Nah.
I know politics a little more like than the normal person. Like when I was standing in line to vote today, and I was hearing these people, I'm like, there's no way these people are this stupid. I was like, these are all CPUs. Like I was like, I can't deal with it. Like it was hurting. There was this old lady backing up, and she was like going like this, and she had to clear, and she was driving this little van, and she had a little handicap sticker and shit. She was like old as like dick, and then she was turning, and there was a Corvette next to her. This bitch had so much space. Like she was not hitting this Corvette, dog, but people are like like she's almost gonna hit it, and I'm like, are you guys dumb? I look at him, I'm like, bruh, what?
Yeah, she probably has a backup camera, number one.
No, not this car, dog.
Not that car?
No.
Okay.
It was like a Honda CRV from like 1955.
Oh, shit.
But
okay.
she passed it, and she had all those things, and like people were like, "Oh my god, we were so scared." All this, and I was like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." Like, stop talking. Like, what do you mean? This is the
packed
biggest part of
parking
your
lot. What are you
day.
saying?
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, lady, I had so much trust in you. And it like, it drizzled a little for like 5 seconds. People were talking about the weather, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I rather put like firecrackers in my asshole and just start shitting than listen to any else that like they're saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I can't believe like how are these units, like how are these people? You get like what ends up in
like-
your life for you to become like this?
So like when it comes to, because you said a few things there, right?
Yeah, my fault.
He is not a socialist. Bernie is a social democrat, and there's a big difference.
So
A
yeah,
social democrat is just a like, in terms of like capitalism, that's as left as you're gonna get. Like that's what you see in Europe. That's your Labor Party. That's all he is. He's again. He's basically like, you know, you can have your own business, which even in socialist countries, you have your own business. It's usually
Yeah.
co-ops, but like you could do your thing just like you do it now. The only difference is if, you know, you're, let's see, if you get sick, you get cancer, you get to get healthcare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you,
So this is
if you lose your job, your company goes out of business, you're not going to like starve in the streets 2 months later. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If your industry gets dissolved, right? Because it's just it's an old industry, like Blockbuster type shit.
yeah, they got
You know,
fucked.
you can go back to college and get reeducated.
Yeah. So
That's all Bernie believes in, compared to like even the Democrats that are like, they say it but they don't believe it.
Yeah, because we're pretty, you know, our views like we're like progressive. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm for with whatever is best for the peeps. You feel me? Like also I don't want like people to like lie on their like booty hole all day and just like get shit handed. Cause I mean I don't know anyone's situation, but I feel like we should just all whatever is best for the people. And if there's some people like that slip through the cracks and shit like that and find a way to like finesse the system, then it's one out of so many, dog.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But I feel like everyone should grow every day, and they should be like putting towards those like you know, their fucking things. Like they should be going like that, and then they should get help that they need, because certain fucking places have shittier situations. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like, and on top of that, if you really look at it, you know, right now, for instance, healthcare, right? Americans pay twice as much on healthcare.
Yeah.
And we have like 90 million people that are underinsured or uninsured entirely.
It's so shitty, bro.
You know what I mean? You have like 50,000 people a year that die in America because they couldn't afford healthcare.
Yeah. And what I'm
that's
thinking
crazy.
is like an average person's healthcare is what, 400, 300 a month?
No, more than that.
More average.
The average person in America spends like 12 grand
a year.
Yeah, because you have to think
$1,000.
You pay your insurance, right? Then you go to the doctor. You pay your copays.
I ain't going to doctors.
But that's my point. You should be able to go to the doctor. So like you do that. Then you get prescriptions. We pay the highest amount on prescriptions.
Yeah, we're getting finessed.
Any other
no,
country,
but
we like funded the research into them through taxpayer dollars.
So what my thing is, so you're saying that on average people pay $1,000 a month on healthcare for one person?
Well, yeah.
But that's like for the year, so like you put in the doctors
per month.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like, I'm saying the 12,000 is like per year. You're
That's
putting
average.
in
So, like,
you're putting in
you'll spend
doctor's
$250,
visits. Yeah.
right? I'll spend like $250. If you're like 35, you'll spend $400. If
Yeah.
you're 50 and you actually start needing more healthcare,
Yeah, it's gonna be more.
that's when you're gonna, like, for instance, my dad. I think he pays like $700 a month, and his insurance doesn't cover shit.
That's fucking
You know what I mean? So it's like.
So what I'm
that's crazy.
thinking, so what my thing is on it is, if we pay more, if it comes out of our taxes, and they're like, okay, you're gonna pay a little more in taxes, but let's say the taxes come out 100, 200 more a month that we don't even see, we don't even know about, but we're saving this much more. On average, we're saving $800 a month.
Well, exactly.
Why
so,
why are so many people against that?
And then let me add something into that. You're already paying that tax. Like, if you're a W-2 employee, you're paying Medicare tax.
Yeah, I know. So where the fuck does that go to?
It goes to, like, in 40 years, you'll get Medicare. But
what does that mean? Don't get hurt for 40 years?
The point is, if you regulate the industry and you actually, like, you nationalize it.
I know.
Like, you'll pay, you know, you arguably will pay the same, if not a little bit more in taxes, but you'll save hundreds of dollars a month.
Why don't people get this? Because I feel like it's so brainwashed in people's fucking heads that they're like, free healthcare is a shitty thing because you're going to pay more taxes. I'm like, dumb fuck.
Well, I mean, there's a few arguments, right? So it's like, that's one argument, and obviously it's false. The second argument is, well, what about the doctors? If you go to the UK, a doctor still makes 300, 400 grand a year. The only difference is they get paid based on how healthy their clients, their patients are.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're
I'm fucking in impervious health, dog.
Yeah, so if you're a great general practitioner doctor over there, just a normal doctor that you go to for your yearly checkup, if you have like
stop.
What
do you mean stop?
Come on. If you're like a great doctor, you have an A rating in their system.
Yeah.
You'll make like $350 a year.
And that's them. They have to work for their shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, the passion and shit never dies. I had a dermatologist that I went to once, and he was a nice guy. He was old. He was kind of fucking insane. I fucked with him, though. And this man just didn't care, bro.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I'm like, you're making like $400,000.
Well, most of their stress comes from dealing with the insurance companies.
Yeah, so I don't understand, like, why? But why do we allow it? Like, why is the system like that? Like, why is it okay for that shit to, like, happen? Like, why? We're going to talk about it. People are going to, like, hear this. They're going to listen to it. And it's going to process in their mind. They're going to be like, yeah. And they're just going to go back to doing something else.
Well, I mean, because it takes like a genuine collective of people actually, like, standing up and, like, you know, voting for the right people, number one. Getting the right people elected, or even getting the right people to run for office to begin with.
Yeah.
And then once it happens, now you're facing, like, for instance, the health insurance industry and the pharmaceutical industry lobby like hundreds of millions of dollars per election cycle just to get their candidates in. So, like, for instance, the health industry will pay, like, let's say, like, I think it was 2016 or something, 2018. They paid out like $500, $600, $700 million in lobbying. they made in profit due to their lobbying efforts over the last so many years, $69 billion in profit that year. So it's like return on investment
is insane.
You invest 1%, you get back
100 million%.
You know, it's an insane return on investment.
And we're not saying, bro, like, I'm pretty sure you're also not saying the fucking demos are in the clear too, right?
No.
The Democrats?
The Democrats are at fault.
Yeah,
anything,
both sides fucking suck.
I mean, so you have, in this country, you have two Republican parties. You have a Republican Party that, like the Republican Party, they're actually crazy. Like their policies are actively going to hurt most of the people that vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Democrats, they're basically the Republican Party from 1990. Like, they have the same platform as the Republicans back then. So when it comes to the Democrats, the fact that they don't stand for labor like they used to, that's what made them a prominent party. The fact that they don't stand with labor, they don't stand with unions, they don't stand with the activist faction of, like, the political sphere.
Yeah.
That's why they lose. That's why they're so pathetic, because if they actually fought against the interests that are paying them off, the Democrats wouldn't get rich out of office. They wouldn't be able to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for their campaigns.
Yeah, it's so fucked.
Because they're going against their lobbyists.
And then they have it so people are like, if you talk bad about Democrats, you're fucking a bad person. You get what I'm saying? And you're automatically
it's
Republican. And we're like, no, dog, I'm on the fucking left, bro. Like, I'm over here. I'm just like massaging like Burns' head, and I'm like, you're the only
but it's not
real
even
one
like,
we got left,
I wouldn't
dog.
even say it's the right thing. Like, I wouldn't even say it's the right way to label it, saying like, you know, like, oh, you're a leftist, or you're on the right, or you're a liberal, you're in the center. Like, I wouldn't even say that's the right way to do it, because when you look at it and you're just basing your political compass off of morality and the statistics.
Yeah.
And you're actively looking at government to fix problems as opposed to just a bickering of back and forth politics.
Yeah.
That's what government's supposed to be. So it's not even like leftist values. It's just like, if you actually believe in competent government, then you should believe in, like, if we have a terrible healthcare system, fixing it. And then there's only so many ways you can fix it. And the left has answers for that. Yeah. Same thing with like political, like corruption reform, like, or lobbying reform, you know, childcare, education. You know, most of these other factions of the political like realm, they won't give the right answers for it because it goes against their lobbyists. So because of that, I mean, they're bought off. They're paid off.
Banking though.
Oh, I mean, like, you can go in, like Obama, right? He became president. He was worth a couple $1 million. When he left his presidency, he's worth like what, $200 million right now? It's like wild. You know, that's the reality, and that's the same thing with all the senators.
His daughters are low-key so fucking cute.
Yeah, no,
they're so cute.
Yeah,
they're cuties. Good job, Obama.
It's a good-looking family, but like,
let's smile.
Yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, like, to change the system, you're gonna have to bring new people in there that are willing to not accept the bribes.
Yeah, and what is that shit? Citizens Untied.
No.
Citizens United.
Citizens United is like the major campaign finance reform that made it.
Learn shit today, motherfuckers.
But yeah, so I mean, like, that's the reality. Like, at the end of the day, like, the Democrats are going to marginally make things better for the average person, but it's going to be barely any. And when it comes to like the Republicans, like, if they're cutting all these taxes and deregulating for these giant corporations, chances are the deregulations were put there because they were hurting people. So if you deregulate again, the same thing's going to happen over again. You're just going to hurt people again. So like, that's the reality. It's not like regulations are meant to stifle business. It's really just meant to make sure that businesses are doing the best job at making sure they're not harming the consumers. Yeah. So that's really what it comes down to.
And we're over here, level 1, getting fucked on.
Oh, I mean, that's American politics. You're gonna get fucked one way or another. It's just how hard you want to get fucked. You know, like,
I'm trying to get raw dogged. I'm trying to have them like slowly kiss my neck, work their way up to my ear. But I feel like every time we think about
sensual.
Yeah,
that's.
I want it to be nice. I want it to be like candles lit. They may or may not suck my toes, but I have it in my mind that it could be an option. It's a dark room. The sheets are violet.
That's nice. That's nice.
Cheetah print everywhere.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, so I mean, like, that's pretty much, you know, vote in the midterms. 50%. I told you this earlier. 50% of all the Republicans that are running are election deniers.
That means
that's crazy.
That means I thought you were gonna finish my sentence. That means
we live in a psychotic world, dude.
They're literally like, nah, Trump won that election. You guys stole that shit.
But at the same time, like
50% of the people running think that the election was stolen, and if you elect them into office,
Republicans, 70% of the Republican base.
70%.
But like,
I was 20% off, and that's still insane. They think if you vote these people, they're gonna be like, nah, they're gonna fit like they're bruh.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, like, it's bullshit because there were a lot of Republicans that won in the same election.
Yeah.
So it's like, how could, you can't just say like, oh, it's these guys stole it, but these guys didn't, and it's all the same election. Like, that's stupid.
So you can vote like mail-in voting, right?
That's one of the chief complaints. But like the thing is, mail-in voting's been a thing for like ever, and like it's never been corrupt.
So there's a thing called gerrymandering, right?
Yeah.
So doesn't mail-in voting kind of like take away from that?
No. Gerrymandering is when like if you have like a Democratic district in a Republican area,
they separate that shit.
So like they take that district and like cut it into 5 pieces and absorb it into the other districts.
Mm-hmm. So they all become Republicans. So a Democratic district is like, let's say like this paper has 4 squares, and we're all demos. So let's say this person will vote in the Democratic district, which is a square. This person will vote on Nick's head, which is Republican. This person will vote on Nick's stomach, which is also Republican. And then this person will vote on, like, this railing thing, which is Republican. So out of the 4 demographics of the Democrats, damn, that's a hard...
I don't know if you're teaching them or if you're
I'm
like
teaching,
asking a question.
No. Out of the 4 Democrats, 3 of them are voting in a Republican thing. So it takes the power away from the square, and then they just become a fucking circle.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I feel like you should pay me for listening to that.
But yeah, no, so gerrymandering is really big. Like, for instance, the Democrats
so how did
have
mail-in
to win
voting...
by a higher margin in order to win an election in general because of that.
That shit sounds rigged, right? Huh?
I mean...
That shit sounds rigged?
The way I look at it is, like, how about we just, like... even when it comes to, like, districts or, like, whatever, just one person, one vote. Each county has their own voters, and just like do it by county or something. Like, I don't know why we have to like cut it up into little like odd shapes. Like, obviously it's bullshit.
It makes it more entertaining, dog.
And then on top of that, like, we have like the most antiquated voting system in the world. Like, other countries, like
that 2-party shit.
Like Brazil. Well, that too, but like Brazil, right? Like, Brazil had an election and had the results like the second it was over.
Yeah.
And that's because they have like an advanced voting system.
They got elected.
In the US, like, everything is like, it's longer to count. Everything's just we're living.
I think they're fucking around.
We're living in like 1920.
Nah, they're literally making us like a social. I feel like we're becoming an app. Like the United States, we're becoming social media, dog. They don't give no fucks. How's it taking that long? You know how many people are in fucking Brazil, bro?
The U.S.
That's like that's the biggest country
in South America. Yeah.
What? Yeah, we're the biggest country in South America.
Well, I mean, like, the U.S. in general is like 5 corporations and like a giant trench coat, and that's like the U.S. government. Like the U.S. Congress is literally like, it's like NASCAR when it comes to all the sponsors. That's the entire U.S. government. So
what place in the earth do you think has a better government and is as free? Are we going to Romania? We're going to be counting top fucking G.
No. I mean, like, the U.S. is free in a lot of ways. Like, other countries don't have certain freedoms that we do. But at the same time, I would say if you go to Europe, they probably feel just as free. And they have healthcare and all that. And their systems are just social democracies. They're capitalist, left-leaning democracies. So it's like... it's not like I mean, for instance, the U.S. used to be a lot closer to them in terms of politics than now.
That's because we were
that's what the New Deal was. The New Deal was a social democratic reform of government.
So how did it go that far?
70, 80 years of propaganda.
Fucking up, dog. Come on.
But I mean, it's like you know, it's no wonder why the economy crashes like every 8 years. Like it's a constant transfer of like wealth from like your bottom 80% to your top 1%, or not even 1%, your top like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's stupid. I don't know how people don't understand. If you vote for politics that will, you know, make your democratic ability to live a better life in like your workplace and everything else through unions, collective bargaining. I don't understand how people don't understand, like, that's what you need to vote for.
Bro, I don't think you understand, Nick. I was talking to these people, and they looked, and they literally said they were behind me. The woman was very pretty. She was like 55. The man was like, maybe like, 56, 57. They both wore flip-flops. I was like, okay, like, maybe these people got some shit going on. I don't know. And like he was making dad jokes. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Wow.
stop talking to me.
What a guy, huh?
But when she said, "Oh, I'm gonna look at the Republican pamphlet," and it's like a little study guide on who to vote for. And when she's like, "I'm just gonna write this down, like word for word," I'm like, this bitch isn't even
Like
reading.
Yeah.
She's not thinking for herself. I'm like, there's no way. And then it was so weird. It was so eye-opening to like, these motherfuckers don't know shit, dog. I'm like, I honestly felt like I could have like stripped naked and started doing push-ups, and they wouldn't even have noticed me. Because I'm like, there's no way this shit's real. There's no way this shit is real. They all like talk on the phone in their little whisper voices. Their little fucking like grocery store voices. Like, excuse me. No, bitch. I'm talking loud as fuck. I'm on speaker. Like, bro, like, what's going on? This isn't real. Like, stop. Like, think for yourself. At least read the questions. There was questions that I was confused on. And I asked the lady, and I'm like, what is this? She goes, vote for this one. And I voted for the opposite. Fuck that lady. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
but
God.
it's just like, bro, the fact that there's just like, this is what I have to do. This is it. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was like they were rating all the people. Like the fucking curdle, is that what they're called?
The what?
The hurdle?
Rating.
They were gathering like all like the fucking like the herd. They were gathering the herd just to fucking nut on them. And I was like, the way that people's brains are just so dead. I was like, this is why that they can take advantage of this shit. Cause motherfuckers think like this. I was crazy. It was insane. Like, it was wild.
I mean, there should definitely be a better job at, like, number one, I think, like, elections should be publicly funded in general.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, literally, if, I don't know how, like, I don't know the exact way you would do it, but have like, a way of, like, number one, make a national voting holiday. But then on top of that,
you know how long the line's going to be if you do that shit?
That's what it's supposed to be. Like, that's why you have early voting, mail-in voting, absentee voting. That's why you do that. But, like, anyways, but like each, and I guess it would be like based on the party, but
yeah.
Each party should send out their platform that they're running on, and then you can read through each side,
like a little pamphlet.
A pamphlet on each side, like you.
That's what the fucking Republican shit did.
Well, but them doing that at a voting booth, that's insane. That it should not be legal. I'm pretty sure it actually is legal or illegal, but. Yeah, that should not be a thing.
That shit was so funny, dog. I looked at one and I was like,
everyone should get one. They should read it. They should understand each side. They should like. There shouldn't be like some bullshit writing, like way of writing the laws, so you can't understand what it is. And then from there, you can say, do I agree with this or do I not agree with this? Do I agree with these people or do I not? And then that's how you vote. You know what I mean? Like, there should be no guessing. You should know exactly where you stand, and it's just gonna be more productive.
Yeah.
You know, no, I don't know how, like, we do things so stupid. I don't even know.
Whatever, dog.
It's ridiculous.
And at the end of the day, we're not trying to change your mind. We're just trying to open your mind. You get what I'm saying? Vote for whoever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. Vote for whoever you want. Vote for a piece of cabbage. I don't care. Just read your shit and understand what's happening. Because it's going to affect me, dog. I'll just end it now.
Remember to vote. Actually think for yourself. Don't listen to one random ass lady in a line that gives you a pamphlet saying this is what you should vote for. Don't do that. Look it up. You can spend as much time in that voting booth as you want. Look shit up on your phone. Spend 20 minutes there. It doesn't matter. Just
and then find your best shirt, dog. You see how swag the fuck out, bro? I'm rocking zebra print. You know how hard that is going to the votes. I have shorts on. Oh my god. All right, dog. We out.